I'm heading off to the States on Monday.
Ooh, on Monday. Shit, that's like just very soon.
It is, yeah. It came by very quick.
Yeah, I remember you saying, February you're heading. It already is
Yep.
February, which is insane.
It's nuts.
And how long are you there for? Like a month or so? Just about? Or over?
For like 2 months.
Right, Jesus.
Like all of February and then like all of March. And then I'm back like the first couple days of April.
That's good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So, yeah, I'll be over there for a while and helping Carissa get better because of her broken foot.
Broken foot. Oh no.
Unbelievable.
The timing though. The pure timing of that is so upsetting.
She just got out of an operation to get like a plate and 6 screws in her foot.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah. So she's staying over her sister's at the moment.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, it'll be rough a little bit for the first part, but you know, shit happens, I guess.
Call her Sanji.
Yeah, she needs. They call her Zeph at this point, man. She got one leg.
Yeah. Peg leg, yeah.
Peg leg.
Yeah, just cut her leg off. She doesn't.
Just cut it off. Put a wood one on.
She's got another one. That's fine.
Yeah, you only need one leg, really.
Just grow another one.
Just grow another one forehead.
Like a Piccolo style.
Oh my god.
Maybe yellow juice that comes out.
Hey,
that's how it was for Piccolo. His blood's like yellow.
Hey, dude's trying his best, man. He's trying his best, man. Have you guys got anything planned while you're there? You gonna travel at all, like to other states and stuff, or what's the dealio?
No, we hadn't had anything like that specifically planned. I mean, we were thinking about like flying all the way to Vegas. That was one thing we were thinking about, but we're also planning for her to come over to Australia later on in the year. So we're trying to like save her time off from work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's that, and then also now that she's injured herself, going to other places is kind of difficult with her current situation. So
yeah,
bit of an awkward one, but yeah, we'll still go like to local places and do things and stuff. But yeah,
hey, when she pulls up to Australia, I'll pull up. I'll pull up for a weekend. Why not? I'll go up to Melbourne for a little bit. It'd be fun. Something.
Can't get her around like Zoro. You know, when it was in that cross.
Put her in the cross and get her T-posing. Damn, Chris are really T-posing out here. That's crazy.
T for Todd.
Facts.
Indeed. But we're here now.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 84 of the Good, Great, Perfect podcast. Flames already away. Standard from that guy. No, I'm kidding. He is busy today. But you have the usual jabronis, myself, you have Knight, and you have Todd. We are going to do a Treasure Cruise ep this week because it kind of will coincide with the end of the month being a Treasure Cruise ep always, which is probably for the best because it lines up with the end of month batch and everything else that happens within February. We'll talk about it basically in March, more or less. So it's kind of a good timing. So there's not a lot to talk about today, but some interesting information regardless.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it with a bit of a wrap-up of the Super Boss Kizuna versus Doflamingo. This one was very interesting, this Super Boss, because we hit damage numbers that you would only see in like mod APKs, which is kind of insane. We were,
dude. We went crazy this Super Boss Kizuna. Like, people only dream of doing damage like this, and it's crazy because we had like Hybrid Kaido come out earlier on in 2022. Yeah. We're like, oh my god, we can reach like 10 billion damage, 20 billion, and then like it got it to 60 billion. It's like
60 billion was like
that's a lot.
It's insane, 60 billion.
And now we get to New Year's, and we have these legends that can stack so much.
Casual 200 billion damage, no big deal, really. Like, which is just
casually.
like obviously like that coincides with certain units being boosted and stats and blah blah blah, but it really went to show Robin's value, which is I think a very interesting factor of everything. Legend Robin's insane because you essentially pretty much just double whatever your damage output is because you can add another conditional boost. It's essentially just doubling the damage output completely.
Yeah, I mean, she's still not a perfect unit, though. That's the
No,
thing.
I agree.
It's so annoying because, like, she's so good in this one situation. Like, no other character does what she does,
Yeah.
and she's perfect in this situation. Literally, like, a 2.25 conditional that you can stack on top of everything that stacks with other conditionals
Yeah.
is insane. But then, outside of that, Robin legit doesn't do much.
And it's
and
the
her defense reduction
caveat
only
to
doing
it.
the 80% defense
Yeah.
reduction is kind of annoying, too.
That's how do you see? I don't know. I hate the fact that like, why would you not just make it 100%, or why would you not just make it like it just doesn't make any completely removes defense? Or I don't know. Like the 80% is just weird. Like, it's such a weird decision to make. Like I get like I understand why because I guess like the 2.2. Okay, it's gonna get very oddly technical, but like the 2.25. Conditional, if you're doing an 80% damage reduction, it's like technically like a 2 times conditional, more or less, because you still got 20% defense. So like, why would you not just make it a flat 2x conditional then? Or make it, you know, something else. Like, but I mean, regardless, she really shone and showed it. But again, once again, fucking Nami is so good. Nami is so good, dude.
That's super tandem with when you stack, you know, Nami's conditional and Robin's conditional, like literally getting with her super tandem a 2.25 attack boost and then buffing both conditionals by 0.5 to make them 2.75 conditionals.
Yeah.
Like, what are they thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy.
I want to smoke the shit that Yoshi was smoking when he designed Legend Nami. I'll tell you what, that shit must be amazing. One of the most important things I should say is congratulations, Stump. Super Tandem Shanks was finally useful. But also fuck Stump, as you know.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. But
piece of shit.
Who hey yo, man's got an agenda today. But who in their right mind decided that the Super Boss should not have a super typing?
Right, that's the first time that they've ever done that.
Insane decision making. When we found that out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, Shanks is fucking in. It's his time to shine." Oh, that was
unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it. That like, I'd see. Like, do you think they did that on purpose? Like, do you think
they would have had to?
Because like that's such a weird choice to make Super Tandem Shanks basically one of the most viable units to use.
It's kind of funny that 2 of the 3 bosses didn't have super tandem, and like it kind of makes sense for the int fight because the int fight had like a 30% resistance versus quick.
Yes,
so it's like you know, you can use Shanks if you want, but if you do, you get 30% less damage, which that would actually make sense. But then for some reason, the Psy one didn't have it either, and that just opened the floodgates.
Like, and even for the int one, if you had Queen, like so for example, for me, I had Queen and I had Vivi. So you're removing 20% of that reduction, so it's only to 10% now, which is which is still really good. Like, you know, it's still a little bit of damage reduction, but at the end of the day, like it's still fantastic. You know, like, removing that much. Yeah. Overall, we didn't really talk about Queen as a support unit, but a very good support unit again. Like once again, the support unit is super valuable, and I think the Queen's probably arguably one of the best offensive supports because 10% damage reduction to all colors. Like for all colors, is just a really strong, like it's basically a 10% buff to all your damage output.
That's the first time we've ever had like a rainbow resistance down. It was pretty crazy. Like the support doesn't do much, but
it was a 1 turn of bind. It's a 1 turn of bind and resistance, I believe. So like,
yeah, that's it.
A bit unique, but I mean the damage is the damage. I think it's gonna be used, and especially because it attaches to Yamato and like Kaido and all that kind of stuff, like you can
and it is super literally viable. Damage. It goes through any immunity buff and stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Exactly right. But overall, like how did you feel about the Kizuna itself? Like what were your like kind of thoughts about the bosses and just the overall feel of it and such?
The Kizuna was okay. I didn't have really too many issues with it. The mini boss, like the 10-star difficulty stuff, wasn't too bad. You could build a
Yep.
pretty succinct one team versus all with
Yep.
Bato Friend and Kaido. Like that wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
that was perfect. Yeah.
And then the actual free to play unit itself, Doflamingo, like he's like give or take, he's fine. Like
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm not
Yeah.
really he's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the actual super boss itself, I had a lot of fun. This was definitely one of the more fun super bosses
I
we've had
agree.
in a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you
I
could
agree.
kill these super bosses in like, technically, if depending on the team and whatever, you could kill a boss in like 4 to 5 runs, depending
Correct.
on your
Yeah.
squad. So that's kind of wild.
I think our alliance was a bit in the mud, unfortunately, because people didn't get as lucky as normal, I suppose, for our alliance in terms of the New Year's banner, which is fine. But I know that like you were doing massive damage to Inside, me and Chris were holding down the quick boss, which is like super. I think that was like the reason why I enjoyed it a lot was because it felt like we were back in the Boa Super Kizuna when we were just constantly bringing down these bosses, and it was like it felt fluid and it felt so much more. It felt so much more realistic to what a Super Boss Kizuna should be, in my eyes, at least. In the sense that I think that it's kind of backwards to assume that the player will do 20 to 30 runs to take down a single boss. But doing 5 to 10 is, I think, a good balance of runs to take down a super boss, which I think is like what it should always be. Because if you don't pull the boosters, you don't get a lot of super boss tokens. And then you have this whole like complication of I need to do more base runs to get more super boss tokens, and the super boss tokens like don't scale. And I mean, obviously all tokens don't but the ticket scale, the super boss tokens don't scale, and so like it's harder to acquire these. And the fact that like we were doing, let's say 30 to 40 billion, well, when you got towards when you got to the max HP threshold, you'd have to do like, what is it, 30 to 300 runs or whatever, just to take out a super boss.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
which is too much in my opinion. So I think I'd say 5 to 20 threshold, if we're going to be a bit lenient, is probably the best amount, because at least it means, okay, if it's 20, let's say every person in the alliance does 2 runs or 1 run or however many runs, and you take out the boss, which I think they've absolutely nailed the super boss. Like I mean, obviously it's a caveated because you have the anniversary units are all busted and they all had stat buffs and such, so you're going to get the extrapolation of damage. But I think that if I mean, we didn't mention it as well, but the super boss gimmicks were literally like non-existent, more or less. Very minimal gimmicks as well, which I think I argued initially like it doesn't matter that much, but I think reflecting back on it, that matters a lot with the less gimmicks. Like, some of them were just like what, bind, maybe despair at some point. Like,
it was like one gimmick, like a one turn, one gimmick. That's it.
Yeah, which is very easy to remove with the support of some kind itself.
But honestly, one of the big things that I kind of found interesting is when team building for this Super Boss Kizuna, there are so many different types of buffs that you have to fit on your squad. You actually couldn't fit them all.
Yeah,
but
you have to
then
pick and choose.
Came stage 2, where stage 2, when you killed it, gave you like color affinity on 2 of the fights.
Yeah,
which is actually kind of nice. It means you'd not bring a color affinity booster and just use the one that they give you, so you can stack better buffs. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, like the damage that we saw in this Kizuna, like technically speaking, you could get more if you're able to build it a bit more.
Yeah, exactly right. I think I enjoy that idea of like them. I again, like it kind of comes back to the same argument of like, I think Super Boss Kizuna should be just doing crazy damage. Maybe not like 100, 1,000, what was that, 1 trillion damage? Okay, maybe at some point, like maybe in 5 years' time, if the game's still around, you might be hitting 1 trillion, 2 trillion damage or whatever. But like, I think 100 to 200 billion damage is a very nice spot to be at for the game, for at least Super Boss Kizuna. And I hope that going forward with the Super Boss, they do give you a buff that isn't like an attacker, or even these days attack and orb boosts are fine because a lot of captains and specials further buff them. So I hope that going forward they do buff it's like they do give you a buff on stage 2, so it's one less thing to think about going into the final stage. So you can be a bit more creative with how you want what buffs and what things you add onto your teams. So I think I was very happy with how this Super Boss went overall. One thing that I did want to bring up as well is I don't know, like it's like not, there's no point in bringing it too much light, but there is, or there was, I don't know if it's been fixed yet or not, but I'm going to say there is, because I'm not sure if it's been fixed yet. There is a ticket bug. So it only affects about like 100 to 200 people. It's a good ticket bug. So essentially, for those that aren't aware, if you and your alliance, or just you as an individual, was able to get over 100,000 tickets, or specifically 9,999, when you went to go use your tickets when the Super Boss ended, I believe it was when the Super Boss ended, the number does not go down. So there was no threshold. So in the past, actually not in the past, because it was in the past, when the Super Boss was zombieable, your tickets would cap at 99,000. But I think about 5 or 6 months ago, some of the Korean players that mod the Super Boss, they found that there was a glitch in terms of how your tickets would be infinite, more or less. So anybody that was able to acquire over 100,000 tickets, which was very doable this time around if you coordinated well and you had people that had the correct units and the amount of damage to take it down in 4 or 5 runs, you basically have infinite tickets, which means unlimited tablets, unlimited lobsters, medals, potions, etc., etc. So it only affected about 100 to 200 players, but just to bring light to it, because, it is an important thing to bring up, that was a bug there. So hopefully they can, would you want them to kind of remedy that, or would you want them to just remove the 9? I would personally want them to just remove the ticket cap. Like, just, if I have 1.2 million tickets, then let me have 1.2 million tickets, I suppose. Don't cap it at 99,000.
Yeah, that maybe it's a programming issue. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how even something like that can even happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's insane to me.
The upper bound, like the bound being removed somehow doesn't make any sense. Like,
no,
I don't know how that breaks. But I think that just remove it entirely and maybe only display 99,199, but just put a plus at the end the same way you do but that's the problem, right? With the berries, they go up to what? Like 999 million or some shit? Like, if that's the case, then can't you just take that number and put it into where the tickets are stored? That's what
you would think so.
Yeah, so, well, like, maybe they could just display it the same way with the plus at the end, but like 100,000 that have the plus. So then oh, okay, I have over this many tickets now. Food for thought, I suppose.
Yeah.
Overall, Super Boss Kizuna, happy days. I think we're all pretty ecstatic with that, and hopefully this kind of trend continues where you're able to just do really fun. I think it was fun. It was just fun being able to do like a casual 200 billion damage. Like, it was like, no stress, I think that's the enjoyable aspect of it for sure.
Yeah.
Knight.
It was a lot of fun.
Knight.
Yo.
Would you say that you're in your prime right now?
You could say that.
Well, you know what they're also saying? Legend Prime Whitebeard and Rayleigh and Gaban came out. In their prime.
Oh.
That's just the name of the Sugar Fest. It was a bad joke. Look, I tried my best.
I know, I got it.
To make it land, and it was a bad joke. But to segue in, we had I don't know what. I was not prepared for a Rayleigh and Gaban and Super Tandem Whitebeard, young Whitebeard as well, legends to be end of month batch legends, mind you, which is just uncanny to say the least. And
I was so excited for when this got announced. I was pumped.
This was insane because there's just two legends there. You're just like, holy these are crazy cool characters. And on top of that, you have a 6+ final tap Luffy, Onigashima Luffy, got a 6+ as well, which also is just out of the blue. He's okay. Let's just start because we're just gonna get into it. I think we will start with Prime Beard because he seems to be the lesser of the two. So Prime Beard,
definitely,
he is He is a striker powerhouse. You never heard of that combination. Superclass powerhouse dex unit. His captain ability, halves the crew's HP at the start of the quest, boosts the crew's HP by 1.5, and boosts dex striker powerhouse characters' attack by 5x, and deals 250x his attack and dex damage to all enemies at the end of the turn. If the crew's HP is 50% or below, boosts their attack by 5.5x instead, and deals 400x his attack at the end of the turn. He's special, cuts all enemies' HP by 20%, ignoring defensive effects and NAO. Boosts striker powerhouse and dex characters' orbs by 2.75 for one turn. If the crew already has an orb boost, boost dex striker powerhouse characters' attack by 2.5 for 2 turns. If the crew is above 50% HP, reduce damage by 70% for one turn. Otherwise, reduces damage by 90% and buffs attack and orb boost, including his own, by 0.25. I believe that means if it's below 50% HP, right? For that section of the special.
If you're below 50%.
Okay. Super class condition, all of the Whitebeard pirates, and then you have also Odin, Inu Neko, or HP is 30% or less. His super class abilities, 500x attack and dex damage to all enemies, and he extends the orb boost by 2 turns. He's super tandem, so for level 1 to 3, you require a striker character plus any 2 of the following, so the same characters in his super class. For level 4 to 5, you require only any 2 of the following, which is a bunch of the Whitebeard pirates and the other units we mentioned. And the effect is a striker and powerhouse tandem boost starting at 1.25 and going all the way up to 1.75. But from levels 3 to 5, you have an increased damage taken to all, which goes from 1.25 to a maximum of 1.5. So level 5 being 1.75x tandem boost to striker powerhouse and a 1.5x increased damage taken to all. He has a support ability, which when a character uses their special, boosts their attack by 2x for 1 turn and reduces damage received by 50%. I'll just run through it. Rumble abilities, he's on a 20 CT. Is that correct? 20 CT seems really low.
Yeah, it is correct.
Targets powerhouse allies for attack at level 6, gives himself a 1.5x counter for 15 seconds, and in the last 40 seconds targets all enemies for 3x attack. His rumble ability, powerhouse allies receive HP attack at level 6 in the first 30 seconds gives himself a defense at level 4. And he has a GP burst ability as well. His condition, the burst has 9 power attacks, and his special targets 3 allies with the highest HP for defense at level 5 for 30 seconds and 3x counter for 30 seconds. If time is less than 50 seconds, targets all enemies for attack down and speed down level 7 for 30 seconds. And his GP stat is Dex allies get HP attack up and defense up, and Striker allies get HP crit up and attack up. Whew. He is boring. I don't know, he's boring to me. He just seems super boring.
I mean, they didn't learn their lesson from last year, obviously, from Linlin that came out. An end of turn damage dealing captain effect that doesn't have cooldown reduction. So you're just clearing these mob stages too fast. You get to these boss stages, you have no cooldown, you lose. It's just simple as that.
And there's
the only way that you get around it is if you use like cooldown reducing specials or other captains. Like running double Whitebeard is kind of pointless.
Correct. His special doesn't remove cooldown either, which is a big mistake.
Yep.
His special is also really boring. Like, I get it. HP cut, orb boost, if orb boost, attack boost. I guess if for 2 turns is the attack boost, but then it gets out of whack, right? Because if you have the orb boost and the attack boost, and you extend you use the super class, you extend the orb boost, you're not gonna have the attack boost. I guess you're meant to use like the other Whitebeard on the next stage maybe or something like that, but like he's the second half of his special's all right. Like if above 50% HP, if below 50% HP, you get the damage reduction and you get the increase in attack and orb boost, which is pretty good.
He's an okay sub, and I think he's still going to see some play as a sub because, I mean, he does still do a 20% health cut that legit goes through everything.
Yeah.
The only thing that stops it is Grey Shield, which isn't very common.
In regular content, no.
Yeah, exactly. And the special ability has great synergy with versus Yamato.
Yep, that's a good point,
As
actually.
Yamato gives you an attack boost and the percent damage reduction attack boosting effect,
Yep.
and this guy gives you orb boost and a damage reduction effect. So yeah, they synergize perfectly together.
I like that he halves his HP. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
as a
it's
captain.
yeah, like you
Right.
guys were saying, no CD, so it's like kind of like why even use him as a captain most of the time?
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Like, it's yeah, like I think I agree with that sentiment. I think him as a sub, I think he will see play because increasing your own. I mean, but then you have to make sure that if you want to increase your attack and orb boost, you have to make sure you're below 50% HP, which for a lot of captains won't be the case unless like the stage when you enter the stage it reduces your HP.
Or
But
you take burn
otherwise,
damage.
well, yeah, or you take burn damage from the. That's a good point. Burn damage from the previous stage, just like that. But yeah, he's just very dull. Like it's unfortunate because like the artwork is incredible. I really
Yeah,
like
that's
the artwork.
crazy.
I love that like Whitey Bay, Marco, and Vista there as well. Like it's like the Super Tandem as well is kind of boring. Like the damage is pretty good, but it's I don't know. I'm pretty like whatever with this unit. I think like I'm not. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
there's
the
not much
super
to it.
tandem's so lame because like it's actually going to be very hard to trigger. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like because remember he boosts Dex, Striker, Powerhouse, and like a lot of these characters don't even have like good units like Whitey Bay, Fossa, Rakuyo, Kingdu, Atmos. Like, there's not many good units of those. Even Ezo, to be honest, like there's not that many that could synergize with what Whitebeard aims to
You could
do.
literally
And
you'd have to use like
yeah,
Inu and Neko because and run a Dex team or
you could
Blackbeard
run like
potentially.
Marco's
Marco,
Powerhouse.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much though. That's the problem, right? Like,
Yeah, so there's not a lot right now, but they could definitely release units in the future or throughout the month that will help with this. But still,
mhm.
and the actual effect only giving a 1.75 tandem attack boost. That's the lowest tandem attack boost at level 5, if I remember correctly. And then the increased damage taken, well, if you can apply it, is really strong when you
Mhm.
apply it with the attack boost. But if they've got
Right.
full immunity, you're kind of screwed. So
Has
that's
this been
lovely.
tested if it goes through full immunity or not?
I don't know if it's been tested, but it doesn't say that it does.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
a
know
good
that
point.
other characters that do it, like Hybrid Kaido, I believe actually does mention like goes through immunity and stuff.
Oh well, if that's the
So
case, then yeah, it must not then.
yeah.
Yeah, not fun. And his Rumble kit is lame. I don't know. I just think it's boring. It doesn't look like a good. It's not a good Rumble kit. I guess like the 20. I guess like he might be a good unit off the bench, but I mean,
Off the bench, I think he'll actually be pretty good. But the issue is like he's powerhouse focused. So
yes, as a big problem. Big problem.
yeah, he's just a really average character.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
it's
I
a
don't
bit of a
see him being
shame.
used too much.
It's a bit of a shame because it's like you're using such an important like kind of character like Whitebeard, especially young Whitebeard, and especially like the scene this is from as well. Like
Right.
all those things, and like I think this unit was made to coincide with 6+ Roger because kind of when you look at the special animations, they kind of look like it's like them clashing in a sense. So like it's, I mean, obviously you can't really compare this unit to 6+ Roger, but you would kind of expect more from a unit such as like young Whitebeard. So it is a little bit of a shame. But
Yeah, it is a shame.
it is what it is. Another legend. Out of 10 for this gentleman.
Jesus.
Jesus, out of 10. Done. That's it. Moving on.
I'll probably give him like a 6.5. Like, I
I'd
really
be like
don't think
six,
he's
six and
that
a half
good.
as well. I'd agree with you, I think.
Can't
What do you
believe they
think?
did it to my boy.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think, Knight?
Uh, I don't remember what I gave Big Mom, but whatever I gave her, but I'll probably give. I'll be the same. C's 6.5.
I think six is fair. This is an average legend. Like he's a pretty average legend.
Yeah.
You're not missing out on anything by not having him, I don't think.
Correct.
But a different legend that's fucking poggers is Rayleigh and Gaban. Dual unit.
Ray-Ban.
Super Swap Dual Unit Free Spirit Cerebral, Psi and Dex. They have hunger and fear resistance. Yuck.
Yep.
So I don't think their captain abilities aren't too different individually. One heals and then gives
one
less
slightly
attack.
higher damage.
One slightly higher
Yeah.
damage but doesn't heal. Alright, but their combined captain ability reduces crew's cooldown by 2. Boosts the crew's
Why is the
HP.
cooldown on this guy?
That's what I'm saying. Let them know. Say it again.
Bro, what the hell?
Should be the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Boost the crew's HP by 1.2, attack by 5.25 with a matching slot, 4.75. Otherwise, makes Psi and Dex beneficial to the crew, reduces attack down by 10 turns, heals 1x their recovery for every perfect at the end of the turn. Their special, 7 turns of special bind. For 1 turn, boost crew's orbs based on the damage dealt with normal attacks prior to launch. So 2.5 base all the way up to 3x. And that's for 10 million damage on the previous turn. Buffs attack boost by 0.25 if the character is a crewmate, and becomes Rayleigh and Gaban for 3 turns. Their base swap is removes own special bind completely, reduces bind and paralysis for the crew by 1 turn, and then boosts the crew's attack by 1.3, which can be overwritten. So that's specific to this unit. And their super swap is removes own special bind. This is a 4 swap, sorry. Removes own special bind, reduces bind and paralysis by 4 turns for the crew, and boosts the crew's attack by 1.3, can be overwritten for 1 turn, and boosts the chain by 1.2 for 1 turn. Their Pirate Rumble kit, 31 CT, targets enemies in large horizontal range for 2.5x attack, targets free spirited allies for attack and speed at level 6 for 15 seconds, and defense at level 5 for 15 seconds. Their ability, free spirited allies receive HP attack at level 6. If the current crew has 8 allies, gives the team level 2 special CT up. Their GP burst abilities, the team uses 5 specials, targets team for level 7 attack up, level 7 speed up for 30 seconds. If the current crew has 5 or less allies, applies level 6 defense down for 30 seconds to all enemies. And their GP stat is free spirit allies receive speed, CT, and defense up, and Dex and Psi allies receive HP guard up and attack up. This unit is very good. And it has a unique mechanic as well, I believe, with the attack overriding.
So
Yeah,
does that
that's neat.
mean? Oh,
No,
Go for it, man.
yeah. I was just gonna ask. So, like, if you like swap with them and you got the 1.3 attack boost, you
Yep.
could like use like another attack boost,
Correct.
and then it would just swap to that. Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
So yeah,
This has really cool synergy that not a lot of people know about yet with 6+ Roger, because when you use Roger's special, he says if you already have an attack boost, you get a 2.25 color affinity for 3 turns. But when you use Roger's special with this swap, it actually replaces the shitty attack boost as well, and it gives you the color affinity at the same time.
Oh
So
my god.
Yeah, you just swap, and then one Roger gives you all of it. It's sick.
Holy shit, I didn't think about that. That's fucked.
Yeah, and then you have like this super swap that has like amazing utility, and if you're using
Bind
the
and
Roger Pirate
paralysis
chip,
is so busted to remove 4
right?
turns
For
of
the
it.
whole crew, even just the first switch to just remove the whole
But
crew's
one
bind and
is
paralysis by
insane.
1 enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the crewmate ability reduces the crew's paralysis by 1 as well. So you can always reduce 2 turns of paralysis whenever you want. It's
and
just
their
it's
other
so good.
sailor abilities reduces crew's cooldown by 1 at the start. This
Yeah.
unit is fucked. This unit's
Like
so good.
cooldown as a captain, cooldown as a sub. Like there's really not a lot wrong with this unit. I've already recorded some showcase stuff with this
Yeah.
guy. He's so freaking good. Like there was a situation I was using where I had like one captain as Roger, one captain is versus Ace, and then this guy is the sub. So you got like versus Ace for special reverse, Roger
Yep.
for despair, this
Yep.
guy for bind paralysis, using the Roger pirate ship for additional 2 turns of paralysis. Like, oh my god, just utility wise and damage, like free spirit are kind of cracked right now.
They're so good. And then he's special, having the special 7 turns of special bind.
Yep.
Like it's pretty similar in terms of the orb boosting mechanic that Roger has for the attack boosting mechanic. Or the Roger's attack boosting mechanic, right? Or am I
Yeah,
dumb?
and if they're
Yeah.
if they're a crewmate as well, any attack boost is buffed by 0.25. So use their special first, you get the orb boost.
Yep.
Roger's special as a captain extends the orb boost, and
Yep.
then also he gets the buffed version of his attack boost. So
Yep.
it's like perfect synergy.
It's actually like there's and like little side note, Rainbow Captain as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and Rainbow
yeah.
orb boost.
And oh Jesus Christ, got to calm down there, sir. I can only get so erect.
Yeah.
10 turns of attack down as well in their
Yeah,
captain is
and-
so
oh my
good. I love that. I love
Whose
that for
idea
them.
was this?
Hey, Yoshi sometimes in his Yoshi smoking that that Nami shit for this unit, and then Yoshi was smoking that verse Kaido shit for Prime Beard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's on two different wavelengths. Yeah, I don't know. Like, look, Pirate Rumble kit. Have you used them in Pirate Rumble?
I have also used them in Rumble.
How did you feel?
So the thing about it is that Free Spirit aren't very bulky, so that
Yes.
kind of sucked. But I was using a team that had like this character, and I also had the Rumble Rare Recruit Otama, and also
Okay,
Straw Hat
good.
Crew all on the front line.
Yep.
And if with a team of 8, like you have actually a lot of CT increase, and
Yeah. Okay.
if you get that Straw Hats to launch first, oh man, it's kind of wild. Getting like
Yep.
Odin to launch, then this guy Ace and Yamato to launch, and it's just
There's a lot of
wrap.
damage. A lot of damage output from them.
Yeah, good damage, high CT, but yeah, not extremely bulky. But you do have really good healing with Otama and Ace Yamato as well. So
Is this the first time we've seen if current crew has X allies do something?
no, there are a couple of other units. who've done it in the
Okay,
past.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Because also with the GP burst, I think that like that little caveat, if the current crew has 5 or less allies, applies level 6 defense down to all enemies. That's really interesting because especially with the current climate of Grand Party, how people are running like 1, 2, 3 man teams, that could see like a little bit of play potentially at some point in time, because that will always proc, which means they'll always get hit with level 6 defense down, which is basically insta death more or less for Grand Party stuff. So
yeah,
I'm very impressed by this unit. I think this unit is just very good. Again, I don't think it's the end all be all. I think if you have Roger, this guy as a friend captain is class, or vice versa, either way. I mean, even this unit as a sub's fantastic. Like, overall, this is a very well made unit. Very well designed.
exactly. And even like the -2 cooldown as a captain, like you could even use him as like a speed farm kind of captain if you have a
100%.
good friend captain as well. Like, yeah, there's a lot going for this character. I just don't understand how they can make Prime Beard, Dex Beard, and then you have this
guy.
character.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make
Like, the difference is night and day.
It's like who does what? I need to find who these designers are and have a conversation with them, because whoever designs Rayban, yeah, give him a raise. Whoever designed Prime Beard, get him out of there. Like, come on, dog, it ain't that deep, man. Out of 10, gents. I think that's it. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to bring up here? I don't think so.
I was just gonna say, this is Roger for Groovy that he won't get like 3 years.
He
late.
pulled him. Oh no, this is
Oh,
Roger.
shit.
This is the new one. This is the new one. This is the new one.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I was gonna say he pulled. Shout out Crew, by the way, if he is listening. He pulled Roger after 2 years of not pulling V1 Roger. 2 years of not having Roger, which is just insane. Pretty momentous occasion. But this will be the new one for him, so hold that. Hold that. All the best. But gents, out of 10,
9.48.
Oh, I'm gonna go 9.52. Nice little rounded number there.
Damn.
9.75.
Oh, that's a high score, dude.
Yeah, that's Rayleigh.
So it does have Rayleigh. Rayleigh is the GOAT. Do you
Yep.
think that this character beats out any of the Annie legends? I mean, I think the answer's obvious, but just for conversation's sake.
Well,
Oh, not
in
anniversary.
terms of
Sorry, I mean
util-
New Year's legends.
the New Year's.
Yeah.
In terms of utility, it certainly does.
Yo, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. In terms of power, though, like this character's not a big power like beast. This
Correct.
character's like a good utility unit to have on your crew to do
Yeah.
lots of really cool things.
Yeah.
It's better than Robin in terms of utility.
Mhm.
Probably not better than Nami. And it's probably better than Kaido versus Yamato for
I'd
utility. But
agree.
in terms of damage, all of the New Year's Legends outbeat this unit.
Yeah. I think it's a very, very succinct and fair assessment, I would say. All right, let's have some fun.
Yeah, just by the way, Tandem Nami is still not fixed in Rumble, so lovely.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's been up for a month and all that, but she's still not fixed.
That's fine. No big deal. No big deal, right? It's fine. It's cool, man.
God damn it.
Onigashima Luffy got a 6+.
Bro, that was
That was
so
left field.
unexpected.
Left field, completely left. I like it. I like it when it's not
I'm
predictable.
down.
I'm down for
Yeah.
2 6+s a month at this rate. I don't like it, I'm fine with that, you know.
Yeah.
Do we want to go into is there like, what were the big differences that you kind of felt? They've done the same thing again where it's if he got 16 recovery or tandem orbs prior to his launching his special, he reduces his own cooldown by 12 turns, so he just rebuffs his special completely again. He does.
Yeah.
So,
He's not like he doesn't get like a lot of big changes, but it just makes him a better unit. Like what most 6+s get these days. Like he's not a big change.
So it's 5.5 to quick free spirit fighter. And then with a non-type slot, it's 5.25 otherwise. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then his special does damage. He gives it a 3x attack boost to the top row. 3x attack boost and boost top row based upon the number of recovery or tandem slots. So 2,000 base attack max. And then if the crew already has an attack boost when the specials launch, he boosts the orbs by 2.75. So if you're able to consume 16 recovery or tandem slots, you'll be able to get yourself the 3x attack boost and 2.75 orb boost, plus you have enough recovery slots for the 2,000 base attack boost. Pretty good. Lots of damage overall. Did the final tap upgrade as well?
I actually haven't checked from the base. I'll look it up right now.
Plus 2,500 base, and it can stack. I don't know if that was the same as before. Could it always? I don't think
stack.
It could stack. Okay.
Okay.
2,500 is level 5.
Previous. Oh, it's a huge difference. Yeah, the base unit before was only up to 1,000 base attack.
What?
Yeah, now it goes up to 2,500.
2,500. That's Jesus. That's a lot.
This with support Sabo as a captain.
This is support Sabo and his special, so he gives himself, if he's the captain, he gives himself 2,000 base attack, support Saga, and then another 2.5k, and then support Sabo is what, 1.3 or 1.2?
1.5.
Oh my days. So like,
dude,
his
like,
base,
and
yeah,
if he's going to be boosted in the treasure map as well, like
he's fucked. He's a one punch man.
Dude. You could get him to over 10,000 base attack most likely.
Jesus Christ! All right, you gotta relax, Luffy. It's another fantastic 6+. Like, I think if Bandai's doing one
did you talk
thing
about his
right,
super type?
Oh, did it change? It did change.
Yeah, it did a lot.
Reduces cooldown of quick free spirit fighters by 1.5. Changes type slots to recovery, so the whole board, and then it boosts the chain by 1.5 for 1 turn. Holy shit!
Yeah, so the chain upgrade from 1.0 to 1.5, and then
That's
all type slots into recovery to allow you to charge that special to get all those recovery consumptions. Super good.
And his captain ability makes them matching, and it allows recovery slots to be consumed when hitting perfects.
Yeah.
So it's a really good little combination there. All right, I see you, big dog. I see you,
so
big
they
man.
did a really good job, and like, it just makes me think, like, if they're gonna give all these buffs to Luffy, if they're gonna end up doing Kid and Law in the future, oh my god.
I was gonna ask, that would be my next point to talk about. Do you think we'll get both 6+ Onigashima Law and Onigashima Kid this year, like within like the next like 6 months, or do you think they're gonna spread them out, or how do you guys see it'll play out?
I think they only did This year because, well, right now, well, Luffy because of the New Year's, personally.
That's a good point.
But I
I
don't
can see
know.
that. Um, I think that like, cause I think that I like this style of 6+ing where
Yeah.
they're doing one quote unquote free to play 6+, where like, so for example, Sugar's the current 6+ of the month, if we're going to argue it, and she's being given out free to play via Pirate Rumble, sorry. But then on the other hand, you have another 6+ in Luffy, which is like more of an expensive 6+ because it's not free to play unit, but you still get the skulls free to play regardless. I think I would not be opposed to them doing this as the new 6+ methodology of having a regular batch end of month legend being the 6+ of the month that's available in Pirate Rumble, and then also 6+ing a more exclusive legend or a newer legend of sorts. So like I think it'd be a cool idea if next month they did, let's say, V3 Boa as the 6+, and then they did 6+ Onigashima Law as well, and had a Suga Fest
like,
for him.
Because the thing is if they only continue to do 1 6+ a month, they'll actually like never catch up ever.
Yeah, because
So
we get a legend every 7.5 days, so it's literally
right,
impossible.
so they'll never catch up. So if they actually start making it 2 per month, while it still doesn't catch us up, I think it would still be better and more fun, really.
Yeah,
But the
100%.
thing is if they are going to do that method of like, one free legend in Pirate Rumble that gets a 6+, and then another monthly unit that we have to farm skulls for through the events, like it gets to a certain point where there's only a certain amount of like exclusive quote unquote units, unless if they start doing like
Right.
treasure map legends through that method as well. Like maybe generic legends are the units who get the normal 6+s, and then exclusive legends will be the farmable skulls.
I
Maybe
like that idea a lot. I think
like
doing
Kizuna
TM and
legends
Pirate
and
Rumble,
stuff.
Kizuna, yep. I think that's the correct way to approach it. I really
Yeah.
think that's a good idea. I agree. I think 2 6+s a month is a nice little balance, because you're getting 2 brand new units to play with, which means more good legends will be boosted for content and yada yada yada. I think that this is the correct way forward. I do see that.
Oh,
And
I just thought of something.
go on.
Next month, Sanji put in 6+.
A dual unit 6+, so I'd love to see that.
Imagine.
I would love it.
If for Valentine's Day too, that'd be so in line. That'd have been perfect. But no, I think that it's the right way forward. I think that, because like there's so many, like for example, like Pirate Rumble, like any of the Pirate Rumble legends need a 6+. Even like the ones that literally recently came out as well. Like they all need help of some kind. So I think that they need Jesus, man. I don't know. I do think that 2 6+s a month should be the way forward. So I really like it. But hopefully,
I'd love it. Yeah.
with Luffy getting 6+, hopefully Law and Kid, also get their 6+s relatively soon as well. Because I think you were mentioning it, like 6+ Kid will be the most cracked Pirate Rumble unit. Like,
oh my god, I'm so scared to see what they're gonna do with that unit.
He's gonna do so much damage. Like it's gonna be insane. And,
oh my god.
And if you think about it, the way that they buffed Luffy's final tap, imagine buffing Law's final tap. Like, Law's final tap is already cracked. Like, buffing it anymore would be insane. So hopefully, like, he gets the same treatment. Who knows?
I mean, Kid actually needs a buff for his final tap, to be honest.
He needs a lot of help with that final tap ability. So they could like completely like bink out the chain to such a high number, like a 9x chain or whatever. Like double it pretty much.
Screw it. Well, I mean, like Ace and Yamato with their final tap, they make their chain go to 8x.
Yeah,
like it's
that's fair.
So they could just do that, and like that's already a pretty good final tap.
Yeah,
100%.
We'll see. We will see. You know what we're not going to see any more of?
What's that?
Just dirty stinking cheaters. Bandai has finally put forward the dealing with unfair practices ban. It has been, I think it's been a year. I think it genuinely has been a year of pushing it back every month. But it's finally gone through. I don't know. We're not going to be able to, like, talk about it too much because we don't like. I mean, we know what like the reasoning behind a lot of stuff, but I think it is very positive to see that Bandai has hopefully taken an initiative and really put forward a blanket statement of if you're caught cheating, you're going to be. I believe they specify your account will be suspended as opposed to like transfer locking, which means I believe no logging into the game. Examples of unfair practices are falsifying data to gain an advantage over the intended procedure of play, the use of external tools, so anyone that uses the database is now banned, fraudulent purchases, proxy purchases. I don't know, what does RMT mean?
Oh, I looked it up. I can't remember. I'll look it up at the moment.
Or illegitimate receipt of refunds, selling, buying, or transferring accounts, other acts that violate the regulations or the terms of service, and that was about it.
I've got it. So
go.
RMT is real money trading, is the buying and selling of in-game data.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. RMT is used in RuneScape a lot to like buy and sell like gold or whatever. So
yeah, so like you're paying for stuff.
Yeah.
I guess
It's
registered.
like, what did you get?
Oh, my bad. I got registered massage therapist.
If you're a massage therapist and that plays Treasure Cruise, you're banned. Good, that's it. Get out of there. It did take effect, I believe, like during Kizuna, because there were a lot of naturally a lot of modded players, and usually what happens is in Kizuna you'll have the modders will be removed once the Kizuna ends, but this time around they were removed like day 2 or day 3 when this took effect. So hopefully like my situation hopefully would be like when things are caught, they're dealt with immediately, as opposed to like this being a once every year kind of like blanket sweep. But I mean, I don't know. We'll wait and see, I suppose.
And it's kind of interesting because it mainly occurred on the Japanese side of things.
Yeah, massively.
Even though like the post was on both sides of the game, like it was mainly the Japanese players that were hit, which is kind of fascinating.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because I feel like remember when wasn't there a situation like at some point where a lot of Japanese players were confused about modding or cheat? Oh, what was it? There was one. So I remember everyone was tweeting about it. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I do recall there being an event at some point where people were cheating, and then a lot of Japanese players were I can't remember exactly, but yeah, like they were commenting on like, oh, how are people cheating, or how's that happening and such. But I mean, it's very interesting that the JP side of things were hit the most. So overall, it's a positive thing. I think regardless of how you kind of look at it, it's a positive thing. Removing these unfair practices is always going to be for the betterment of the game, and hopefully this is kind of a consistent removal process. And we things are dealt with more form, which I think again this is a very positive step. This is a very good thing to happen overall.
100%.
All right. New level limit breaks. I don't want to read them. So Todd, is there anything of note that we should talk about?
Well, the funny thing is that, well, it is mentioned in the other news. We'll get to it in a moment, but a new Grand Voyage is on its way.
Correct.
And we saw that Nami was getting a level limit break, so we're like, oh my god, we're finally getting our hour-long Grand Voyage that we're all suspecting.
But
no, we're not getting that. We're getting another Baratier one with more int characters once again.
Yay! More int. Let's go, Pog.
Let's go. Just what we all wanted. Yeah, of course. So yeah, Mihawk and Nami are both getting the level limit breaks, and Mihawk was the oldest unit that didn't have a level limit break, so he's finally receiving some buffs.
Finally, he's got good. One. Yes.
I will say though, Mihawk's is pretty dog shit. His captain ability didn't get much of an upgrade at all. It's just number buffs. His special's pretty decent. Now he's an attack booster. He makes slots matching. He does also remove defense up by 6 turns when you use his special too. So that's kind of neat.
Okay, pretty good.
Nice.
Nami's kind of cool because when you limit break expand her and get her to max level limit break, she gives -2 cooldown and is a Dex, Cerebral, and a Striker captain, which is kind of nice. She was just a Dex captain. Lots of matching slots, and the special removes paralysis and burn. and still does the
Nice.
color affinity and the orb boost. So yeah, she's just a number buffs and now boosts more characters. Robin's interesting because both her 6-star and her 6-star plus receives the buffs. And you've got the 6-star plus, which is an attack boosting focus character, and you have the 6-star, which is an orb boosting focus character. And they've both got utility specials. Like one room is attack down, one room is bind. It's okay. I think Quickbeard, he was one that a lot of people wanted to see with the level limit break, but I think he kind of got the short end of the stick this time around. The special ability didn't receive much of a buff from what it previously was. The captain ability usable, but again, like these characters don't have super types or super classes, so they're not going to be as usable, unfortunately.
Yep.
And then the final character was V2 Sanji, the chain boosting Sanji. And I will admit, if you get him expanded and level 150, he does have a very enticing captain. He just does so much stuff. Cooldown reduction, still has the chain boost, higher attack boost, higher HP boost, damage reduction, matching slots. If you tap on him with a Psy recovery or a tandem slot, he does 10% resistance down to the enemies for fighters. Like he just does so much stuff as a captain. And then the special is like a huge attack boost, chain multiplicative buff, removing chain debuffs. Like he's actually good, but once again, he's a chain boosting captain, so it is what it is.
I think that special is very useful.
Yeah, it does a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, like the attack boost, the attack boost. It's still a fighter attack boost, but then if it has a recovery or tandem slot, chain multiplier, and then 10 turns of chain lock, chain coefficient, like very
that's
solid.
A chain multiplicative buff, not a chain addition, which is really good for these types of units.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot to be desired, unfortunately, with this batch. Like,
nothing amazing.
I think a lot of the previous batches had like 1 or 2 standout units. This one doesn't really have much, so you kind of take it or leave it.
But yeah, we don't know how useful the Mihawk is going to be in the Grand Voyage yet, because he could be really cracked for it.
I think he will have to be. I think this is his. I think it's going to be like some sort of like the boss will recover but bind all of your units except for your captain or something like that. And then then his special is the damage. Like, but then you have to pop Mihawk special to do the final bit of damage or whatever it is. Like, so you have to make sure you do enough damage to have enough to kill. It'll be like 60% HP or whatever it is. So like,
it'll be like the story, where it's Mihawk versus Zora, and like Zora at the end, he's like, where he just says, Mihawk,
pause.
You finish me off, man. It'll be exactly like that.
And I was like, okay, I will. Zwink. See you, nerd. I could see that being the case. That's about it. The oldest legend now is V2 Boa.
That doesn't have a level limit break.
Yeah. V2 Boa, Lucy, V2 Doflamingo, Luffy A's, Kung Fu Luffy, and V2 Shanks are the next, 6 characters.
You already know.
I don't know if V2 Dofi got one. Or was it just a 6+? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got the 6+, and then after his 6+, level limit break came out.
So he's gonna be so fucked. His level limit break is gonna be so cracked. That's the problem. Because his 6+ was already so good for PvP as well, especially, and then he's gonna be so good with the level limit break.
Because Mihawk got his level limit break. I'd assume it'd be somewhat similar to what this guy has. So yeah, it'll be similar.
I think V2 Shanks' level limit break will be very interesting as well. Because he's very
excited for that.
That one's gonna be super interesting.
I mean, he doesn't even have a 6+ yet either.
Nah, he is the oldest. I guess excluding Kung Fu Luffy and excluding Log Luffy, he's the oldest regular batch legend that doesn't have a 6+ now.
I'm just looking at it as well. All the level limit breaks of these older units, all of them already have 6+. So we haven't had a unit that gets a level limit break that doesn't have a 6+ also. So that's kind of an interesting situation, because they have to plan for we need to buff this unit, but we got to remember that we're going to give them a 6+ eventually. So they got to balance that out. I don't know how they're going to do it.
So Shanks could easily be the this month's another a 6+ coming. Easily, you could make him the next 6+. Otherwise, you have Tesoro doesn't have one, and then
Zephyr as well.
Zeph doesn't have one. That's a good point.
I mean, they gave one to Shiki, so those two have to get one eventually.
And then the next regular batch legend that doesn't have one is Stampede Luffy, V1 Kaido, V3 Kuzan. It's a long way away, those ones, actually.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
Stampede Luffy got a level limit break, and he doesn't have a 6+ yet.
Oh, shit, true. Good point.
Yeah, and he's actually really good, so if they're going to do that, I don't know.
Dude, something like
Interesting.
Osoba Mask getting a 6+ as well.
Whew,
At some point, he's going to be fucking really good too. God damn. There's a lot of
just give
juice.
him to the dual units too, the dual units are right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. One day. When the technology's there, we'll figure it out one day.
Did Kaido get one or no?
Not yet.
V1 Kaido? No.
Yeah.
Oh, V1 Kaido's one might actually be pretty good. If they give him cooldown, like more cooldown or some shit in his captain ability, he actually might go off. For speed. He might become the speed farming guy again.
Because he only boosts Striker Powerhouse, right? He doesn't boost Dex.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, he's just Striker Powerhouse.
More cooldown and then boost Dex as well. I mean, that's
clear.
A real good start.
You can use him with Prime Beard.
And make his health cut at the start of each stage go through normal attacks only. Or make his damage go through normal attacks only. Or maybe it's like, if it's just the damage from the special, go through normal attacks only, not the captains. Like, that would be pretty fair, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think
cool.
I agree with that 100%.
Just theorizing.
A little bit of theorizing. Well,
that's it.
I put Pyro Rumble Rare Group Crocus head, and arguably like the cooler part of it is we got a Nozudon and Sambel unit. That's what I want to talk about. What the fuck? That's sick.
I'm so excited. They're like all these random ass characters in his units. Like, that's awesome.
2 random dons and their shit. They're so
It might be one of the worst Rumble characters that has ever released.
Crocus and these dons are so bad. They're so bad.
I could actually see Crocus see a little bit of play because like Cerebral don't have a lot going for them, and this could slide into like Uta teams, I guess. But I mean, Sambel and Nozudon, there's literally like nothing redeeming about this unit at all. That special is absolute dog shit.
Their Pyro special gives self-provoke and defense at level 6 for 20 seconds, targets fighter allies for 400 HP, interval healing for 30 seconds. Their ability is fighter allies get level 6 HP up and attack up. When taking damage, gives self level 2 attack up 3 times for a maximum of 6, pretty much.
Right, buffing their attack for all that damage they're going to deal with their special. Yeah. Yeah, good job. And look, they are fighter powerhouse. They have good synergy with fighter powerhouse. Like, that's cool and all, but they're not going to fit in those squads at all. Like, why would you use this unit over like any other unit? Like, we had King come out recently. I think he was fighter powerhouse.
Yeah.
We had Don Jin Jiao, one of the most annoying Rumble Rare recruits to come up against, fighter powerhouse.
Yeah.
There's no way you're using this guy over those two. There's just no shot. I don't get how we can go from last month with King to this. Like, it's such a huge jump.
They let the intern handle this one.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
They let the intern handle this one, that's for sure.
Damn, it's so disappointing.
That's insane.
I don't know what they're doing.
They're so bad. They're just like, so bad.
It feels like there's like an effect missing from their special. It almost feels like
something. There's like self-provoke, targets fighter allies for healing and deals 2.5x attack in a large horizontal range, just like that. It's there's no point in giving themselves an attack buff if they're not going to do damage. It just doesn't make any sense. It's such
like
a
characters that
mentality.
Do provoking. It's such a mid effect because so many characters that people use are just AoE dealing specials. Like, there's no reason.
If provoke affected specials, so like let's say large horizontal range, right? But like I had my provoke character at the top of the screen. What provoke should do is force the special to target them, and then it moves the special. So it can still hit some stuff, but if you have this provoke character away from the team somehow, the damage gets dealt towards them. Doesn't affect the AoE part, but the damage should be dealt towards the unit as opposed to just regular attacks they only attack that unit. Like that's how it should probably
You're
have
100%
been.
right. If that was the
decided.
case, Provoke would actually be really good.
Really good. Like
Yeah.
every defense team would just run a massive, like massively tanky healing provoke style team, because you could just provoke a unit, have all the specials directed towards them, heal them back up, rinse repeat for 100 seconds, and you'll most likely win every defensive fight.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
But yeah, I agree. I think they've just omitted one aspect of their special. I'm like, oh shit, we forgot to write that part. We forgot to do that part. So they just don't exist in that kind of predicament. But yeah, I agree. Crocus could be used. Targets team for speed at level 7, take at level 7 for 10 seconds. Targets cerebral allies for special CT at level 2 for 15 seconds. And paralysis reduction by 30 seconds. And dot damage reduction by 30 seconds. And cerebral allies get HP defense and crit up in his ability. Yeah.
So good bulk. And then like the special 25 CT is okay. And then like 7 speed, 7 attack, and 2 CT. The utility of paralysis and dot damage reduction is like whatever. But like the thing is Cerebral don't have good Rumble Rare recruits in the first place. Like they've got this and they got Cat Viper, and that's basically it for their Rumble Rare recruits that actually work in their teams.
Yeah.
So if you take that into consideration, like yeah, this guy probably will see play just by proxy because they don't have a lot of good units in the first place.
Mm-hmm. That's about it.
For them. Pretty much underwhelming.
Yeah, underwhelming indeed. I think the last part I want to talk about, because I kind of slid this in there like a last minute. I think that the question is, what are your expectations for OPTC in 2023? Now, it's a bit of a loaded question, but I think it would be pretty important, as we are pretty much at the start of the year still, to kind of lay the gauntlet down of what our expectations are. This can be in terms of gameplay, in terms of units, in terms of quality of life updates, in terms of whatever. Just like a brief or extensive conversation about what would your, I guess from all of our perspectives, what would our expectations be for OPTC in 2023?
I think something to celebrate the live action coming out.
Ooh,
definitely is gonna happen.
Shout. I think it needs to.
I'm curious if they would make like a unit for it, because that'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Just
real
like
life
you see
unit.
some random, yeah, like the live action Luffy in the game. That'd be pretty funny.
Whack. I could definitely see them maybe advertising the game at a bare minimum. It'd be cool if we got like an item that's like a forbidden tome kind of thing, like as a celebratory thing.
Like
saying
a
like,
DVD
oh, go watch
or
the
whatever
new
it
Netflix
is.
series. Yeah, something like that would be kind of cool. Obviously for 2023, I can't wait for that guy to appear.
That guy to come out. Yep.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
That might be one of
not only just for the game, but like just to see it in general.
Yeah,
animated.
You know that animation and the sprite and like the they're gonna go like above and beyond.
Like it's gonna be. I feel like depending on the release of when it is, it could probably hit top grossing.
Yeah, I agree.
And depending on how they do it, yeah, like it could legitimately be a top grossing level character. So we don't know when that's gonna happen yet. It's gonna happen at some point this year. We just don't know when. It's hard to really guess. But I mean, there's lots of cool stuff coming out this year.
There's like a lot of
story.
I think that, I know it's stupid, but I think that I would like to step away from Wano a little bit more, purely because we're just so, like, everything is so heavily ingrained in Wano. I mean, like, even this batch technically is related to Wano in some sense as well.
Yeah.
Like, whilst, like, it might come off as, like, I'm a Wano hater, that's cool, but, like, I think that there are so many other parts of the story and so many other aspects that haven't been explored. I know Flame was here, would bring up Whole Cake Island again or something like that, but, like, there are so many aspects of the story that, like, I would love to see. I think, like, it's probably the same sentiment every year. Like, I want more legends of random characters, of characters that don't have legends yet, or characters that are from different parts of the story that you wouldn't expect a legend to come out from.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good shout. You know,
That'd probably be my character wise expectation or hope for this year at least.
like I know that when it was initially releasing the anime, we were getting a lot of those characters, but I feel like we need to go back to Dressrosa for sure.
Yeah, back to Dressrosa. I think Doflamingo deserves another legend of some kind.
Like a Super Tandem Dofi for sure.
Yeah, something really cool. I mean, especially with Super Tandem being a thing now, there are so many crew units. Like, even going back and like remaking the suite or making a Katakuri legend that's Super Tandem, and his
100%.
tandem is with Smoothie and Cracker, right?
Or even a final tap.
Exactly. Like, I think that with Super Tandem being such a heavy mechanic now, it would be really cool to go back now and remake a lot of those crew units and character units and such too.
Yep.
I still want my legend Smiley and Caesar.
I mean, yeah.
I'm down.
To be honest,
honestly,
Caesar needs a legend at this point.
I'm super down.
Wasn't he in one of the polls back in the day?
I think he was in multiple polls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, I think I just want them to be creative this year. I think like I've gone on my rants about quality of life, and I think me and Nut were having a pretty good discussion prior to the ep starting about like, you know, my mentality with the game. I think overall I just want a bit more creativity and a bit more fun. Just like something, whether it's a new game mode or something different to farm or a new way to play or like just unique characters. Yeah.
Okay, so and the previous anniversary we had was introducing the Super Tandem mechanic.
Yep.
Previous to that, it introduced Final Tap.
Yep.
And then previous to that, it introduced Super Type.
Yep.
So the real question is, what's happening during this anniversary?
That's a fantastic
if you have these
question.
3 big mechanics introducing at these anniversary periods on the Japan side, I really wonder what they have in store for us now.
I mean, I think Super Tandem was very left field. Like, because we all had assumed that Tandem was like a dead mechanic because of the whole the whole reasoning behind and the whole lawyer, you know, like legality, I suppose, of it more than anything. I don't know what goes next.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because
like how many more mechanics can you add to one character? Like, I don't even know.
Because like at this point in time, a character can either be super class, super type, and they can either have a final tap or super tandem. That's like the most you're gonna get out of a character. So
correct.
Will the next mechanic introduced become another caveat to one of those two situations, or
like
will it be a
ability?
Yeah, or will it be or will it be a third thing? So you can have super class, super type, and super tandem, final tap, and blank.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So they're gonna have the 7 deadly sin sting. What is that thing called? Like armor or?
Oh no! Shut up. We're not fucking bringing arm. As soon as I see a fucking Luffy sandals mechanic in this game, I'm done. Luffy's fucking runners from the beach. I'm out of there. No shot, brother.
Then we're gonna have equipment banners.
Yeah, that's it. I quit. Actually,
Sugofest exclusive equipment.
Sugofest exclusive Zoro sword coming out. 6-star sword inbound. No. I'm gonna say no. I will quit. I swear to God, I will. But the thing is, I think it's said a lot, but I think maybe it's time for a Haki XS mechanic. Maybe it's time.
we've been saying that for years.
Yeah, we have. But maybe it's time for that to come to fruition. Because otherwise, like I genuinely do not know what else you could really add as a third mechanic or a subset to the other 2 mechanics that already exist on a unit. I think it would have to be a new one completely. I think that it would have to be like a third aspect to things.
Super sub.
Okay, go on. Work with it. Hey, how's super sub working?
I have no idea. It's like the subs, the subs boost the captain.
That's not
And
that bad
when
of an
I think
idea,
about
though.
and when I think about it, it sounds like Super Tandem. So I'm just gonna shut up.
No, but imagine a super sub ability where, like,
Yeah.
embedded in that unit is like, if your captain is fighter or free spirit, buffs the captain ability attack boost by 0.2 or something like that. So you could stack up a bunch of these super sub abilities, and then you go from like a 5.5x captain to like a 5.75 or whatever. So that could be your
Yeah.
super sub mechanic. But like, I don't know. That's a
Oh,
great
look,
question.
So,
Like, that's a great
like
question.
the sockets, right? The sockets in the game, they haven't been updated in a while. What if it's
That's a good
something
point.
relating to sockets? I don't know. Maybe there's
How
like a
would you-
golden forbidden tome.
No,
and you
shut
get, like,
up.
these new
They're gonna get like
abilities.
you're gonna get one forbidden tome a year, Todd. If you keep up at that. You know what?
what's funny though is if they did do that. So like in the game, they're dubbed as powers. So if they do it, it'll be like superpowers.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
I
so I don't know.
think aside from like a unit mechanic, I would like to see a item mechanic that lets me convert items into other items. That's what I want. I think a lot. Like,
Okay.
I think it would be cool to have the ability to take 10 shards, and then 10 shards makes 4 medium crystals, and then 4 medium crystals makes 1 orb, kind of thing, and then break down an orb into shards, like, so you have that kind of mechanic.
Yeah.
Or like,
I feel like that's well overdue. That needed to be a thing.
things like, you know, small potions go to medium and medium go to large, kind of that kind of set as well. And the same thing with
Yeah.
metals. Small metals can get converted to medium metals and medium into large. And even like, look, I know that like the gold tablets are a meme, but imagine if there probably should be gold tablets of all the other tablets as well. You know, guaranteeing you a slot bind, or guaranteeing you a hunger, or guaranteeing you like
That's a
on
good
use.
point.
So
Yeah.
I think even like a thing, because I believe the tablet success rate is like it's like 30%, so 3 in 10, I think is the tablet success rate.
Something like that.
So even like converting 5 tablets into a gold tablet, even though that's not the best, I understand it's not meant to be good, or maybe converting 4 or 3 into a gold tablet. So you could say, okay, let me convert 3 slot bind tablets into a gold tablet and guarantee it, as opposed to like using 3 slot bind tablets and missing all 3, for example.
True.
What do
I
you
think
about
go.
I was gonna say they make like a platinum tablet or like
Okay,
I was gonna
you need to
say
be arrested.
bronze, but
Bronze is worse than it's worse than a regular tablet.
Yeah, I was gonna say bronze, but like, oh, hold on, that'd be bad.
But even
But
like
yeah.
even like I've literally just thought of like even like so like other mechanics where you're farming content and then you earn like a side reward. So let's say like every time you clear a quest, you earn like a tablet shard, and then you can use those tablet shards to go purchase tablets in a store somewhere, or you like maybe Robin's archaeological shop, and you get a bunch of like tablet shards from just clearing quests, and then like they don't drop, but you just get them as an overall reward. So you get like 1 or 2 maybe from clearing a quest or clearing an adventure, and then if you have like maybe 30 or 50 of them, you can go and convert them into tablets that you can use. Like, I think
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It's like kind of like a treasure hunt where like you're just doing random quests and it's like, oh, you found a rare item or like a rare drop, and then
it's not top of man mission related though. I think that's the important part, is that you can sometimes drop the gold variant of it, let's say, and then you can use those to make Final Tap and Super Tandem tablets. So then now there's a new incentive to grind a lot, because all right, I've been farming turtles this whole time during the podcast, let's say. Maybe I could have gotten 100 of these shards and like 2 gold ones. Or if I keep farming, get enough gold ones, I can get another Final Tap tablet and go use that on my Luffy unit, for example. And like, if they're not going to provide us direct ways to farm materials, provide us alternate ways to farm those materials. Like the same thing, like maybe you could get like a a gem, sorry, like a limit break shard, a limit break material sack. Pause. So like, and then you would acquire those the same ways you'd get the tablet shards. So you'd just play content, you'd earn a currency. So the same way that you see like berry, you'd get like berries and XP, and then below that there'd be like limit break material, limit break material boxes and tablet shards, and then you just earn those from clearing quests, and then let us go convert those into items. If they're not going to give us direct access to those items in terms of farming them outright, give us another way to farm an item to go acquire those items. I think that would be a nice little branching path of things.
Yeah, I dig that. Sure.
But no, for your character question, I have no idea. I genuinely, like, I think Haki is the only thing that I could see being next. I don't know how they'd introduce that or what it would do, but because you would have 4 types to be like simplistic, I suppose. And yeah, I don't know what those would do, but I feel like that would be the next logical step. Would be doing some sort of Haki-esque mechanic.
Yeah, something like that would be pretty neat. I don't know how they would do it though, but I do feel like they'll probably introduce a new type of mechanic to advertise the new anniversary, but
and maybe
they could literally go in like any direction.
Like maybe the new mechanic will revolve around that guy somehow, some way. I don't know.
Maybe.
So we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. But I mean, my expectations just overall for Treasure Cruise this year is I want more creativity. I want more I want more passion, I suppose, to be put into the game, you know. Like we're all still playing it, we're all still hustling and bustling. So like, you know, make our time's return on investment more worthwhile, I suppose, more than anything. Sure. All right. I think that's it, gents.
And also, like, we do know definitely something to do with the ships has to happen this year.
Has to happen at some point this year as well. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's a good thing too. Hopefully that's a ship buff or a ship 6+, or I don't know what you'd call it, or something, some way to buff them.
Limit break or something. Yeah.
Have you LLB'd your Whitebeard ship yet?
Oh no. Oh no.
We'll see. We'll come back to this maybe. Obviously, we'll come back to these in due time and see what's hot, what's not. But gentlemen, that wraps us up. So, in other news, certain special descriptions of characters will be updated. This aligns to the fact that Rayleigh and Gaban's special, I think it's to do with their special. So they're going to go through and update the descriptions of a lot of specials to make them like be more aligned to what they do, which is good. As we mentioned,
formatting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully they do it for a lot of units as opposed to just a handful, which would be a lot of effort actually in the grand scheme of things. As we alluded to earlier, new Grand Voyage is coming out, the Bright one, so get your int units ready. How exciting. I still haven't cleared like any of the Grand Voyage, so I'm not going to bother. We have a new metal exchange. I believe the only like really worthwhile unit here is V2 Odin is out in the metal exchange, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
V2 Odin, Reiju, V2 Magellan, Kaido Big Mum. 250 you have V1 Shirashiri and V2 Jimbo, and at the 150 you have Jub. What the Judge? Hey yo, Jub, what up, dude? And V1 Bato. So nothing too hot there. You have a couple
worth getting if you don't have him.
That's a good point for the support ability. You are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I think Odin 100%. Odin's a must grab if you don't have him. I think
if you don't have Odin, you can get it.
I think Broken Famous from the Dynasty Discord this will be his first time getting Odin. Will be from this metal shop.
Oh wow!
So, which is insane to think about. Right? That's a long time without pulling Odin at some point.
A year.
Too long, in my opinion. These days, mate. Yeah, and as your normal bunch of TM rare recruits are available, and Valentine's Day limited rare recruits are available at 100 medals. Still really expensive, but only there for really collection purposes. Like I think like 4 or 5 new rare recruits got added to the metal shop, which is good. And I think that's just the most positive aspect of the metal shop is the rare recruits being added and the world journey units just consistently being there to be purchased. So super awesome decisions there. 100 medals a bit steep. However, for the most part, they're for collection purposes. You know, you don't have to buy them outright. Just as a PSA, the support Sai Sora, so Sanji's mum, and Int Custard are available in the Rayleigh's Bazaar. So make sure you go pick them up if you haven't done so yet. Oh my god, I skipped the survey in the in the plan. I'm gonna put that in other news. Other news, there is a survey. Make sure you go. I was gonna say do it and discuss it, but I was like, the questions are pretty generic. So
yeah, it's basic stuff.
Make sure you go do the survey. The feedback does get actioned. It takes time for feedback to get actioned. Just keep that in the back of your head. But the feedback does get read by the production team and then hopefully actioned based upon what the feedback says. So, you know, make sure you put the effort in. And I know people are complaining, but they're not giving us 5 gems for doing the survey. Hold that, by the way. So just go do it anyway. Like, it's not going to take much time. Just go put your thoughts and opinions down. And that's about it. And there's a new Chopper Man mission coming out for Robin's tablet finding mission, which I think this is awesome. So, clearing up to 30 quests during the time period nets you 3 of each tablet. So this includes like hunger and fear resistance and such as well. And it doesn't include the defensive tablets. So 3 of each tablet. And I was discussing with Stump, fuck that guy by the way, about how they should introduce this as like a weekly or fortnightly thing now, but change it up. So do like Robin's tablets, do like Chopper's potions, do Nami's limit break materials, do Frankie's cola, do like Zoro's something, Zoro's support medals maybe, do Sanji's lobsters, and every week or two have a Straw Hat related Chopper Man mission that gives us some sort of material in return.
Like Luffy stamina meats.
Exactly, Luffy Schmeat. I want to get that. But like
Frankie's cola.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I think that if they should. I think this is a great thing for the Robin part of it. Especially for tablet, 3 of each tablet. People are like, it's not a lot, but I mean like 3 of each tablet's 3 of each tablet, right?
Wait, would you rather have 3 of each tablet or nothing?
Or none? Like... Exactly. You know. So hold that.
We'll take it.
I hope that. I mean, I doubt it, but I think it's a great way to add more Chopper Man missions and give more rewards out, especially like limit break materials and cola now and lobsters for Sanji, let's say, and Zoro friendship medals and Chopper potions and Frankie cola and blah, 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 blah. Like, I think it'd be a great way to introduce every week or every fortnight. It's only 30 runs. You can, and I think triple stam counts as 3 runs. So it's only 10 runs of your choosing, especially if you're like, let's say, farming turtles. 10 runs, you get 3 of each tablet. Fantastic, you know. So go do that, and hopefully that's done in the future. And one other thing I want to bring up real quick, because we don't know the 100% of this, but the Twitter development team has stated that starting the February the 9th, they will no longer support free access to the Twitter API. A paid basic tier will be available instead. So as a lot of people know, one of the main ways to SNS connect your OPTC account is via Twitter. We don't know what's going to happen. Bandai hasn't said anything. I guess as a precaution, maybe remove your SNS from Twitter to something else. I don't know. I haven't done that yet, but maybe it's a good idea to do so. Just for the sake of if Bandai doesn't say, like, if Bandai doesn't actually purchase that API license, then they can't do Twitter SNS backup anymore. So maybe transfer it to something might be the safest option, but just keep that in the back of your heads. We don't know what's going to happen from there. Maybe Bandai will say something. I know that I think a lot of the Genshin subreddit's in arms right now because they're like I think their Twitter stuff is their main source as well. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens in that regard. But that's just another PSA. Just keep that in the back of your heads of that regard. All right. From everyone's favorite section into the Q&A. Into the Q&A. Nah, pause. Into the shout-outs. My days. If you would like to support us financially, that would be greatly appreciated, but there's no expectation whatsoever. But we should always give a shout out to our GGP producers of TheLordShiro and Alex Wisniewski, our perfect member of Bryan, Kisa, McDermott, our great members of CS Wins, Cody, and My Drunken Monkey, and our good members of Riolan, Stump D Gacha, Red Halo, Dr. Erection, and Wankerfella. We do appreciate your constant support. It does mean a lot to us. But if you're down there right now, you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of this year, I think is our goal. So, make sure you hit that sub button if you haven't done so yet. And if you are able to support us financially, the join button is there. Bunch of different tiers you can support us at, so the option is always there for you. But from everyone's favorite section into the shout out, into everyone's actual favorite section, it is the Q&A.
The Q&A.
Let's go.
Let's go. If you have any questions you want to send through to us, you can send through to us via our Twitter at GGP Podcast or our YouTube community tab. Starting with the first question from Dr. Erection. Pause. He says, "Hey guys, what are some of your favorite genres of music? Personally, I always find myself listening to early 2000s punk and pop. Additionally, what is your favorite new gen Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, and why is it Mouseold?"
Damn.
Disagree with that one. But
Yeah, I'm not
I love it all, like,
cute, I guess.
Yeah,
It's kinda
okay.
cute. That's
Yeah,
funny.
okay. But favorite genres of music to listen to? What do you guys think?
He mentioned like early 2000s punk and pop. I do like listening to early 2000s punk and pop every
Yep.
now and again. But I do think the one that I usually go to, I like house and EDM
Yep.
kind of music. I don't,
Yeah.
I just love listening to just absolute jammers, to be
Mhm.
honest.
No, I feel that.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm still heavy into rap. Love it.
Nice.
Hard style for the gym gets me pumped up. And then I kind of like transitioned to a lot of like vibey style music, so a lot of like bands and stuff like that, just playing like really like cruisy kind of sounds. So like
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that kind of stuff too. What about you,
Yeah.
Knight?
I say like my favorites are like rap as well, but I've been listening to like a lot of like 80s music
Mm-hmm.
lately, so like a lot of like MJ and shit like
Yep.
that, which is
Yep.
always nice, and a lot of EDM as well. I
Yep.
always appreciate some nice electronic music.
Who are your
Yeah.
current favorite artists at the moment? I'll say.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
currently, like what are you absolutely raving to right now?
Okay.
Who you got?
I just like random stuff, really. There's a really cool artist Hellberg that does
Yeah.
electronic
Okay.
music. Yeah, I'm liking his stuff at the moment.
Nice. Knight, who you got? You mentioned a few,
Right
but
now. Oh, what was that?
you mentioned a few, but like, yeah, who was it? Sorry.
Oh yeah, I would say like right now, just a lot of gorillas lately.
Yeah.
I always loved
Nice,
them.
nice.
Nice.
What
And
about
actually,
yourself?
I like listening to Drake as well because he got some
Yeah.
bangers.
Drake's just always
Yeah.
a clear favorite. Right now, hard style wise, I don't know. Damn, it's tough. There's this guy like on Spotify called Sick Legend. He just remixes a lot of like party anthems, like just absolute
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
classic songs, and then makes some hard style mixes. And I really like those. In the vibe playlist, I would say maybe Spacey Jane, which is like an Australian band, I believe, or Koala. They're pretty cool. Or Two Door
Okay.
Cinema Club. Two Door Cinema Club is fucking rippers. And then in the rap playlist, I would still say, where are we at here? Skepta, AJ Tracy, Central C, Baby No Money, probably would be up there as my favorites at the moment.
Oh, also, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm still jamming to the Film Red fucking
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack. I'm listening to
true
a
that.
hell of Auto.
It's still banging.
Was it
Still
Auto or
rippers.
Ado?
Ado, I think.
Ado, okay.
Ado,
Yeah.
yeah, in Japanese it'd be Ado, yeah. And favorite Gen 9 mon?
Oh,
King Gambit.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah, you're
yeah,
King
King
Gambit.
Gambit.
I'm a Tinker Tonk. I love Tinker Tonk. It's such a cool mod.
Nice.
Tinker
Or
Tonk is a
for
goat.
Rig.
Yeah, for
Oh,
Rig.
that's cool, okay.
That's a good shout, actually. What about Dun Dun Spas? 3 seconds.
Oh, I
yeah.
love that thing.
Oh, Flamigo.
Oh, Flamingo's
Flamingo's
class.
awesome.
He's the
Flamigo.
goat.
Flamigo. It's so good. A lot of cool design mods this year, actually.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
You know, at least this gen, sorry, I should say. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. Next question. TD Maker asks, alrighty, I guess I blew it with the GARP challenge question last episode. So, how about this? And assign your own boosters event. They deliver the content not relevant to the current Sugos. We choose our best 1 to 3 units to take it on with, and you get a booster for a reward. Maybe more folks would be more invested, even with a weaker box. Also, have you tried the rebooted Snapple Rain? I think it's delicious. My roommate thinks it tastes like dirt. Then again, she thinks cilantro tastes like soap. Cilantro is like delicious manna from heaven, boys. Criminy sakes alive, be well, gents. There's a lot going on in that question, I'll tell you what.
That is a lot.
I think what he's trying to get at is assign your own boost. I think boost is the wrong word. Maybe like you get a reward out of it, but it's like content, and you choose 1 to 3 units to take it on with.
I can kind of see that.
I
get what
think
he's saying.
I
Yeah.
think it would be cool for them to work under that idea of reducing the amount of units you can bring, and I think that kind of was the cost mechanic in a sense for the damage rankings, was heavily about the total cost. And I think that bringing that back, but doing it not like doing a cost restriction for, let's say, the total farming event. Nah, don't do that. But make a bespoke island for the month, or for like 2 or 3 months, and make it cost restricted, and reward the player for beating it under the cost restrictions, I suppose. Would be how I'd see that.
Kind of fun.
They
Yeah.
have something similar
Yeah.
in BBS where, like, for like the point events and stuff, like on Twitter, well, in the official Discord, you can
Yeah.
vote for like the bonus characters that can come out for like future events, and they'll like list out a couple characters, and then like the community gets to vote for them, and then like the top 3 characters usually will come out later on in like a future event, and they'll be like random characters. So like in Treasure Cruise, it would be something like Sangoro, V3 Zoro, Corazon, and like Halloween Ace or something like that. And then like you can like vote for the characters, and then they'll just be boosted for like the next event, or like a future upcoming event. So yeah, I think something like that could work.
That's a good idea, actually. I think that's actually a really cool idea. I think that it would be cool to be like, oh, this month, you could have vote for these 5 characters, and then 3 of them will be boosted. You know, like, will they be useful? I don't know, but the fact that they're boosted, and the fact that they might boost drops, and they might boost your points in treasure map and stuff like that as well, I think that's actually again, whatever can expand the amount of boosted units, the better, I think. So
yeah,
I mean,
there's
like
actually like the boosted event, like the total farming event. It's kind of weird, right? Because I mean, you can use supports to get around it, but on the last stage, there's like 4 turns of damage threshold, and there's only 2 units on the boosted list that actually remove damage threshold.
Yeah.
One of them being the new rare recruit Buggy from the Sugo Fest. The other one being the Kizuna free-to-play Shanks. So like, if someone pulled and got Shanks but didn't get Buggy, it's like, well, I can't even use the free-to-play character because he's also a Shanks character.
Right.
But yeah, you can use supports to get around it, at least, because like you got Sugar, Dofi, and Luffy all have threshold removing support. So it's accessible enough, but still, like, the boosted list is always one of the biggest issues with those total farming events, because the units they boost never actually help you clear the content.
No, not at all. No,
Yeah.
I think I actually do like that idea a lot of providing more options for people. Even include like rare recruits, or include like limited rare recruits, or include like blah blah blah. Like, I think all
or actually
make
the actual free to play unit useful for the event as well.
Yeah.
So you can like farm it on the low stam, then use it for the high stam. Like that would be useful enough.
If you need to remove 4 turns of threshold, let's say, make the free-to-play unit remove 5 turns of threshold. So then you can pop them into the team, and they give you a guaranteed boost, a guaranteed drop, let's say, and also remove the threshold for you. So you don't have to stress about supports anymore or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a good idea. All right, next question from Monkey Indo. They ask, why y'all so handsome? Knight, take it away.
Flattery won't get you anywhere, stupid.
Hold that. Next question from Lars Big Bird. They ask, will feedback from the latest survey take 6 months to be reflected in the game? Do they expect players to stick around and hope things improve? Todd, take it away.
Probably, yeah. It takes them a while to go through all the survey answers, unfortunately.
It's such the latter half of that that question's insane. Do they expect players to stick around and hope things improve? Here's the funny thing, my friend. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to. It's a video game. If you're not having fun, don't play. Like, it's a video game. That's the whole point. That's what it is at the end of the day. Like, no one's changed. Unless Yoshi has you captured, then all the best. But no one is holding you down to forcing you to play the game in any capacity. So please don't feel obligated to play if you're not enjoying your time right now.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yes, the feedback takes time to be actioned. That's what feedback is. It's not a feedback. Feedback would have to be compiled and then read, and then would have to be probably categorized, and then they'd have to look at, what's the consensus of the feedback, and then they'd have to decide the steps going forward with the feedback and what points of the feedback are necessary and not, and then they'd have to start looking at how they're going to implement the feedback, and then they'd have to send that to the development team to program that feedback, and then they'd have to introduce that into the game back to the production team, and then in 6 months' time you might get it. So yes, it takes a long time. This is unfortunately how it works.
There's multiple levels to it.
It is what it is, right? It's just how it be. All right, next question.
You missed a question.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, from Obsidian Steed. How could I forget Obsidian Steed? My apologies. From Obsidian Steed, he asks, you three, how do you know the three of us would be here? Oh shit.
Stalker.
What the hell?
That's kind of scary. You three will have a Davy back fight boxing match between Lucci, Katakuri, and Akainu. Who's fighting who's going first, and who has a better chance of winning? We're all fucked. This is what I'm going to start.
We all just lose. You couldn't even pick people that we even had a chance against.
That's what we couldn't have picked, like, normal human beings and not, like, gigantic. Isn't, like, Katakuri, like, 15 foot tall or whatever? Like,
yeah, he's like 10 feet tall.
Category height.
Even bigger. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we just punch him in the knee still.
Oh, yeah, but he's got them studs.
Spikes.
Bro, he's 509 centimeters tall. He's 5 meters tall. He's 15 feet.
God.
Yeah, we can tickle his toes. That's it.
We might take him out. Well, Todd's fighting Katakuri. Akainu,
we can't have that.
No, he has to. Akainu's 306 centimeters tall. He's more normal. He's only 3 meters tall. He's only bro. Akainu's only 9 foot tall. What a pussy. Who's got Akainu? Me or you, Knight? Who's taking on Akainu?
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, I said rock.
I do paper.
Oh, shit.
I'm not fighting him.
Oh, well, there you go. You can take on Lucci. Lucci's 212 centimeters tall. So he's like 6'4" or whatever.
Okay.
I'm with that.
Oh, never mind.
He's like an insanely good fighter.
It says 6'11". I don't know conversions. All right, well, you've got Lucci. I've got Akainu. Todd's got Katakuri. All in all, we're all fucked. This is what it is. We're not winning. We're not winning. No.
First, though?
I'll go first.
I think Akainu's fight has to go last because he's going to be the messiest guy in the arena.
Yeah.
All right, fair. I think. I would say. I think the Lucci fight would be the best one. Yeah, I think the Lucci and Knight. I think the Lucci fight might be the most fair, even though he's an incredible fighter in himself. And then category
True.
has to take on Mr. Mr. gonna get slammed by Mr. Slam Jam. And then I'm gonna get
I'm
fought by by a Kainu and just get absolutely decimated. There you go. We're gonna lose that day. We are losing that day. Next time, pick 3 more reasonable opponents, please. Because goddamn, you picked the 3 hardest opponents you possibly could. All right, next question from Usopp's Will. They ask, so a strong breeze is rolling through town. Whose top goes flying off first? Coliseum Rebecca, Bella Betty, or Jin Rummy? I refrain from answering this question because it's too horny.
For that question, it's gonna be Bella Betty.
Yeah, I agree. I had to
'Cause,
Google Jin Rummy the other day, this morning.
Oh, that's the Kaido pirate.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is
Yeah.
Jin Rummy?
Yeah, because like Jin Rummy and Rebecca, they've got like stuff that's like strapped to their body, but like Bella Betty's just wearing like a cloth.
A jacket. It's just,
Yeah, that thing's
Yeah.
flying off real quick.
Usopp's Will.
100%.
You need to check up from the neck up, man. It's a horny question, my brother. Next question from Red Halo Gaming. He asks, pick one unit to delete from the game forever. You and everyone else lose that unit. Why do you pick them?
Okay, I've got a joke answer and I've got a legitimate answer.
All right, go.
Okay.
All right, joke answer: Rare Recruit Shiryu.
You hate that guy. You hate.
Yeah, that guy's
Yeah.
a bitch. But I think a unit that would actually, while it would pain me to do it, I think is actually a good thing for the game would be Wano Law
Interesting choice.
for Rumble purposes.
Yeah.
Because he instantly makes like your fight versus Driven and Powerhouse teams so easy for Sai.
Yep.
So if they just because he just does that, plus he gives your team insanely good buffs.
Yep.
So I think if they got rid of him, I think it would balance it a bit more.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fair. I think it's a good shout, actually. For who's honestly like, I don't know who I'd remove, like, because there's like no like
Kuma.
real.
Yeah, I can't think of any like straight up problem units in the game. There aren't many.
There isn't any, I think like I would argue that the V2 Straw Hats reign at the top's kind of over now. They're not like clear ahead of everyone else, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
Final Tap's still amazing, but I don't see them as being like the tippity top anymore. I think like, the
Yeah.
throne's empty at the moment. For balance sake, maybe
Tough question, actually.
maybe V2 Odin again. I mean, we're just screwing over the side team here.
Oh, he's
But-
so annoying.
In Rumble, he's just incredibly good. And I mean, even he was very useful in this Super Boss Kizuna as well. Like his ability to buff the boosts as well is really, really good. So I would probably pretty comfortably say V2 Odin, because I just think he's just so good in Rumble. Like he has so much damage, and he attacks it. He's just so broken. He's just so strong.
Yeah. His Rumble ability is really broken too. It does like HP, attack, and defense, and
Mhm.
like it's such a well-rounded unit. And then the action bind on top of everything.
Yeah.
Just
Not
a
okay.
disgusting unit.
He's
Oh, actually, another unit for Rumble purposes: Super Tandem Luffy. That unit is disgusting.
yeah.
That Rumble ability is way too good.
I think the only way you can really answer this question is via the Rumble stuff, because every other bit of content has no relation to like anything else. Like everything is just very PVE.
Yeah.
Like, Rumble's the only like
he's doing PvP, right?
yeah. Hey, Unite. Who was your move?
I'll probably say I have a double answer like Todd. Joke answer would be Quick Katakuri, just because Stump hates that guy. I can't stand that guy.
I can't stand that guy.
But I'd say my real answer is probably Legend Ulti, because fuck Octo. JK, shout out to Octo Haven.
Shout out Octo. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, that's that one. Next the penultimate question for today from @00BobbyXD00. There you go. What did you all
Crazy.
go to school for? I'm at a moment in my life where I feel stuck right now and in a bad headspace. I stopped going to college because I realized halfway through the semester I was really bored of the subject and genuinely not interested anymore. Growing old fucking sucks.
That's some troll despair right there.
We can help you with that.
Indeed.
I'm good with this kind of shit. But what did you all go to college, university for? Just to break it down.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny because like I originally was going for engineering, and I started doing engineering and I specialized in computer engineering.
Mhm.
And then I was literally at the start of my final year of computer engineering, and like in the classes I was going to, I literally was like, holy shit, this is like way far ahead than what I thought I was going to be at. Like this, it's too complex for what
Mhm.
I thought it was going to be. And at that
Yeah.
point I was like, damn, like I don't think I could actually do this. And
Yeah.
especially like as like a career as well. I was like, yeah, like I don't think I can do this. So then at that point I switched to computer science,
Mhm.
and I had like a whole semester off, and that was a lot too, because I wanted to be finished with it and like move on, but
Yeah.
I had to like have all this time off, and then ended up switching and doing computer science. And luckily I did have credit from the course that I was
Yeah.
already doing, so it didn't take as long to do. Like it was a 3-year course to do the computer science. Credit took me so that I only had to do 2 years at least, so it added a bit of time on, but I was having a much better time with what I was doing. So I feel like if you don't know what you want to do, you do have to still pick something that you're passionate about in some fashion, and then like just trialing it out and see how you like it. And no one's going to bash you for
No.
switching your career path if you're not liking it. You got to do something that you actually have somewhat of an enjoyment doing. It's a tough space to be in, though. It depends on obviously a lot of different factors, like
Yeah.
your environment, your situation, and stuff like that. But
Right.
it's not easy. But yeah, definitely you got to find something that you are passionate about, something that you can see yourself doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Mhm. Bro, you know.
I went to school for like film and television and also um human resources. So like I really like films and television. So I like doing the behind the scenes stuff mostly, but I can do pretty much anything in that field.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's basically what I went to school for. I only picked like human resources just so like if I didn't find a job immediately with um on like a film set or whatnot, I can always like have something else to do that
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really that passionate about human resources, but it's just like talking to people basically and like
Mhm.
helping
Mhm.
companies like with finding new employees and shit like that. So it's not all that bad.
Yep. I feel that.
Pretty good.
My adventure was a bit strange. So I started off at I'm going to say University A and University B because I attended two at the same time. So I started off at University A with a double degree of software engineering and arts. Arts, I had no idea, but I majored in Japanese language at the time, didn't have a minor. I was there for about 2 years, and I also had a pretty big existential crisis as well, where I was like, I think I'm wasting my time. I don't want to go to university anymore. I should have just dropped out completely. And that kind of comes off the back of being seen as someone who's academically like gifted per se. That's what kind of everyone probably put in my head a lot of the time. I was like, oh, you're so smart, go to uni, blah, blah, blah. So I went to the best university possible and blah, blah, blah. I eventually, my decision-making process for that was, I was at work at the time, at my part-time job, and I was working at like a supermarket. Basically, I printed a receipt, a really long receipt, and I wrote down the pros and cons of the decision that I would make, which would be to transfer to University B. Ended up, the pros outweighed the cons, so I ended up making the transfer to University B. So at University A, I was still studying Bachelor of Arts, and at University of B, I continued, because I had the credits as well, a Bachelor of Software Engineering. I completed the Bachelor of Software Engineering at University B, whilst also studying the Bachelor of Arts at the same time, where I ended up majoring in Japanese language and minoring in digital humanities. Digital humanities is kind of like the concept of looking at like graphs and maps and roads and historical items and digitizing them for like the use online and stuff. Got a lot of fantastic opportunities out of that course as well.
That's kind of interesting.
Like one of my final projects was making an interactive timeline for the Australian LGBTI timeline and how like the whole process of like their whole struggle went, and it was used in classrooms across Australia. You know, that's how it ended up happening, which is really, you know, it's insane to be told by the head of the program to say, hey, you know, sorry, the National Museum of Australia came up to me and you know, offered to buy it off me. And I worked alongside them. And, you know, the director of that project at the time approached me at the very end of it. He said, yeah, I've traveled to Melbourne and Adelaide and Perth, and all of those schools are using your project in their classrooms. So you never know what opportunities will prevail from what decisions you make. I was a psychopath because I was taking 2 degrees at the same time. So
That's
I had
a lot of work.
I had 2 full semesters each from 2 different universities. I was basically taking between 6 to 8 classes a semester and working full time as well. I don't recommend doing that because it just destroys you as a human being. But I didn't want to wait around and spend more time than I needed to at university. So I kind of just had to bite the bullet and do that. But I think to kind of answer the question of realizing you stop going to college because you realize halfway through the semester it sucked and you got really bored of it. This kind of aligns to one of our friends, Ryan. He pretty much did the same thing, joined university and dropped out because he hated what he was studying. Then he tried something different and then he dropped it again, and he kind of took some time away. And he's going back now to finish it up because he realized that the value of having a degree is more beneficial than not, at least in Australia, I'll speak. I don't know about the US and other places in themselves as well.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of value. I understand that there's a financial commitment, and in some places it's definitely better handled than others. But I'm in the camp of having some sort of bachelor's or having some sort of degree or certificate or whatever it is to fall back on, a diploma to fall back on, is always going to benefit you in the long run because you have a fallback situation, you know? Like, let's say if Todd's YouTube channel, you know, fails at some point, God forbid, he has a degree to fall back on, you know? If Knight can't get into the film industry or somehow, he has HR to fall back on, you know? So, like, there's always that element there. I think, in my opinion, I would say take a semester or a year off, just relax, forget about uni or forget about college for some particular period of time, and then go back and think about what is your end goal. It's a tough question to kind of answer, I suppose, but I think deciding what your end goal is early on in life can at least benefit you in directing you in the right direction, and then things can change naturally as they always do. But if you kind of sit to yourself, so my end goal was that I just want to work with computers, or I just want to do stuff that's like technical. So obviously a software engineering degree was the position there. Now my end goal's changed, you know? So I think taking time off and really getting clarity from that will be to your benefit. And then kind of going from there. Growing old does suck. It is what it is. But I mean, the three of us here are still, in the grand scheme of things, are very young. I mean, I think, you know, I might be the youngest out of the three of us here, out of the podcast as well. But like at the end of the day, like it's life, innit? You know, like this is it's what it is. You kind of go with the flow and, you know, see how things kind of pan out. So I think all the best. I'll put the cringe part out there. My DMs are open. You know, so you know me. You find me and message me if you're really stuck for ideas and stuff. But I mean, you know, it's a tough thing. You know, finding out what you want to do after school and where you want to go with things, because it's not easy to get to where you want to be.
I mean, yeah. Another thing as well is that like a lot of people like pressure you like straight after high school, like, oh, you got to know what you need to do, but like most people don't know what they're doing
100%.
after high school, really. Yeah,
100%. So
don't get it twisted.
So no matter how old you are, I mean, you might be 45 asking us this question. You might be 18, right? Just if you're really hating college right now, take that time off, relax, and just think about, what's, at least in my opinion, think about what the end goal is. What do you want to do in 20, 30 years time that you would be happy progressing towards, and then use college as a stepping stone to doing that. Little bit of wholesomeness there, gents. Well done. And final question, as per usual, has to go to Cody. CS wins. Hey gents, as always, thank you for the work that you do. For Flame, how are you enjoying Fire Emblem Engage? Personally, I think the series has really let down their fans. This is 4 games now where they're adding a protagonist that can be named after the player, that they make every side character worship the ground you walk on. I understand it appeals to some demographics, but quite frankly, it makes me sick. Outside of that, I find it one of the cleaner graphical games with some UI issues, unfortunately. One big takeaway is with the leaks for the game being true. Hopefully the leaks about Sigurd's game being remade are also true. That's easily the best game in the series IMO. Can't wait to see it on Switch instead of on SNES. Flame ain't here to answer that part, unfortunately. But we'll probably talk about Fire Emblem with Flame next episode, because that'll be our first off episode of the year, and I'm sure that Fire Emblem will be a pretty big talking point. So look forward to that. Now let's hit you all with some food questions.
Yes,
For
sir.
pancakes, do you prefer more of a thin crepe style or a thicker pancake? I'm more of a thicker pancake kind of fan. Cue the ayo. You fucking ayo.
Man, like them thick cakes.
That's ayo. That's his wife got thick cakes? ? Anyway,
Hey, that's crazy.
Hey, I'm just asking the real question. Man said he liked
he's an
thick
arse man.
cakes. Man said he liked thick cakes. He's an arse man. You are 100% right. All right, we looking for thick or thin?
I think it depends on like how you're having the pancakes. Like
Yes.
if I'm having just maple syrup, then I actually don't mind thin ones. But
Yep.
if they're like the choc chip pancakes or something like that, like they're
Yep.
so good when they're thicker.
Yep. I think I'm a thick pancake
Probably.
kind of guy as well.
Yeah, probably
just
thick most
prefer
of the time.
prefer a thick pause. But no, I just think like, especially when you have like toppings, and sometimes you might get like ice cream on your pancake, or like
Right.
anything of that kind of. I think just like the fluffier, thicker kind of pancake just always tastes more delectable there.
Right.
Well,
Agreed.
Agree?
Yeah, I'm not really a big crepe person, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. I think so. I think it's more of a UK thing is the crepe thing, I think.
I think I've only had them once.
I only ever had them, like, I had them in Japan a few times because that's a big thing there. It's a pretty popular
Yeah.
thing. And then I know that, like, there are a few, like, food festivals where, like, they'll do, like, this really delicious, like, crepe and Nutella kind of combo thing. And it was just, like, very light and really sweet. So, like, they were the only moments where I really had them, I think. If you're having chili, do you prefer it more or less soupy? I find I'm more on the end of less soupy. Typically, I boil a lot of liquid out of it when I'm making it. This is like the American style chili, I think he's referring to here.
Oh yeah, I actually do prefer it soupy. I think it's
Okay.
better. Yeah,
You're a
that's
bit
why
of
I
a
like it. I don't like it
soupy.
when it's dry, because then it's kind of like it's like clag, like fucking glue.
Man, eating glue out here, that's crazy. I think if I was, I
Yeah.
don't think I've had chili that many times, but I think if I was I probably would be in the less soupy camp. I think
Okay.
I prefer it that way, I think.
Yeah,
Fair
I'm
enough.
the same. Less
Yeah.
soup,
Less soup.
more goop.
More
Chili's
goop.
awesome though.
Yes, agree. And it's not really a question, but if any of y'all ever are feeling, here you go. This is Cody's tip of the episode. If any of y'all are ever feeling under the weather, a remedy that always hits home for me is to get a couple of cans of chicken noodle soup, cook it, and load that sucker with about half a cup of hot sauce. Interesting. It works wonders. I can't take full credit for that. It's my grandmother's age-old method. There you go. That's your tip of the.
It sounds like
Maybe
awesome.
Carissa. Maybe Carissa needs to get some chicken soup and hot sauce to remedy, after her surgery. You never know.
oh she hates spicy food.
Oh, all right, never mind. Don't do that. Probably
Pour it on the injury. That'll probably help.
There you go. All right. Thanks as always, gents. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that your work is greatly appreciated. Your boy, Cody in Canada. Thank you, Sir Cody. Appreciate it. Gents, that is it. That wraps us up for episode Ep.84 is what I was about to say. Episode 84.
Ep.84.
Ep.84, baby. Hey, yo. Episode 84. Hopefully next episode, so episode 85 will be our first non-Treasure Cruise related ep. Now that we're back aligned with everything, which would be fun. Flame should hopefully be back, and I don't know, we'll chat about a bunch of random topics and things that pop up. With that being said, though, if you guys have enjoyed, I'm done today. I'm so done today. If you guys have enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go down to our description and go to our Linktree link. That is linktr.ee/goodgreatperfect. There you can find us on all the social media platforms. If you're still here on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, make sure you go do that. Like and comment, and also join if you haven't done so as well. You can find us on Twitter at GGP Podcast. You can also find us on Anchor. That is anchor.fm/goodgreatperfect. You can find us on all the main listening platforms there. Main ones being Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. You enjoyed us today as hosts. Continue down in the description there. You'll find all of our social media links. Captain Papi, Nightmare JP, and Toski. And I think that's about it for us, gentlemen, today. I've been Captain Papi, Night, and Todd. Thank you for listening to the episode. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.